Hey, ice on 3, 1, 2, 3, ice!
Ready. Okay.
Energy on 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, Rocket football fans, we're going to get you ready for Friday night's big matchup against Caldwell County. This is a team that's been on the schedule, coach, since 1926. This series goes back, started out as Marion High School and Princeton's high school, and evolved into the two county schools, and we've been playing as a county school since the 50s. Just a long rivalry, and what really hurts is the series record. It's a little bit lopsided.
Yeah. How bad is it?
Well, I won't go into the overall series record. I'll just tell you that we've not beaten Caldwell County since your seniors were in school.
Seniors were in school.
Yeah, 12 years ago. Well, since I guess they were kindergartners or first graders since this group has, when the last time we beat them.
Yeah.
So we have our work cut out for us Friday night. They've won 16 of the last 17 games, so I'm sure you've got a plan. And after losing to Madisonville last week, I know you had a lot to work on. But Caldwell County's 1-2, and you've watched some of their film. And what do you think about these guys? Is it typical Caldwell County team?
I still think they're a good football team. They always are. We've got nothing but respect for Caldwell County and what they do. They execute well. They just do their job at a high level, and that's concerning. That's the difference between a team like us and them. We just haven't been able to do our job. They always execute. They're not going to beat themselves. When games are late, they'll make plays. They're down against Madisonville and just able to make their plays by doing the job. It's not necessarily anything that pops off the screen at you, but it doesn't have to be. They're a football team, a good unit that just does their job.
Probably for the first time that I can remember, we are ranked going into this game. The Rockets are ranked 10. We dropped a couple of spots this week, and probably rightfully so after that loss. But Caldwell County's unranked, which is very untypical for this matchup with them being unranked going into this. And it's my understanding that they announced today they're going to be out of school the next 2 days.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to affect the game. It hasn't so far. We haven't heard anything like that. But just all kinds of issues going on right now. So
everywhere, everybody.
It's just crazy, isn't it? So, Coach Courtney, you've got this team ready, or trying to get this team ready after last week, and what has been the main focus of trying to get back on track after losing over at Madisonville 33-20?
Do your job. That's all the preaching's been all week. It's not about anyone else. It's not about Madisonville. It's not about Caldwell. It just comes down to us executing what we do. If we do a good job doing what we do, we'll be okay. But we have to focus on us right now. Obviously, we had to spend some time on Caldwell and try to get ready for that game. But more importantly, it's just about us and doing our job. And that's what we've been preaching every week, or this week specifically, but all the time. Everyone has a job and to execute it. That's what makes a good football team. That's what we believe. And to get to where we want to go, that's what we're going to have to start doing.
Well, Caldwell County, as you mentioned, it's only win so far has been against Madisonville, and they've lost to the two schools out of Christian County, Hoptown and Christian County both. So they play some tough competition.
Right, yeah, they're 1-2 and unranked and all that, but they've also played a juggernaut of schedule coming up, which Christian County we don't really know about, but seemed to look a lot better, got a new coach, and it's just hard to tell early, especially with everything going on. People always have somebody out, this person out, that person out, and I know that was happening on both of the films. So it's just hard to tell and hard to get a read. But what I see on there is they still look like a pretty solid football team. They're still Caldwell, and they're still disciplined, play hard, and basically the same thing you've been seeing forever.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take this moment and recognize some of our sponsors, and of course, Whitetail Properties, our main corporate sponsor for the Gaige Courtney Coaches Show. We appreciate Mark Williams, agent, for taking care of us all these years. Also want to recognize Frazier Law Firm in Marion, Moments in Time Pictures, that's Reese Baker, Hodges Sports and Apparel on Sturgis Road, your Rocket headquarters, and Riley Tool Machine, voice of the Rockets, Todd Riley. So this Caldwell County team, pretty decent on defense. Their offense has scored enough to win one game, but you look, they've put up 14 points in 2 of their games and 24 when they beat Madisonville. So when you look at their statistics, they're not rushing for a whole lot of yardage. What are you seeing out of them?
I just think they play team complementary football, really. Defense is pretty solid, I think, especially up front. And offense, they want to establish the run, make easy throws. Honestly, it's what they've always done. Athletes, maybe not what they're used to having in the past in some places, but still very good, solid. They were shown that they could push the ball downfield against Hop Down a couple of times. And they run a ton of formations trying to get numbers in the run game that I see, and it's worked. Running back's solid, the Smiley kid, and then also the quarterback's a good runner. So just a balanced team. They just play good complementary football. Special teams is good. Everything is just good. So they're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to go out there and beat them.
Well, the quarterback, Jack Stevens, he's a senior. He's completed about half of 60 or so passes this year for 327 yards, I believe. And he's a pretty decent runner. He's the second leading rusher on the team with 113 yards. And Logan Smiley is their top rusher. He's rushed for 222 in 3 games.
Yeah.
So not quite the lumbering, big, strong running backs that we saw last week against Madisonville. Does that give you some hope that we can stop this run a little better?
If we do our job. I think it just comes down to us. I really – and then Madisonville, they were going to make some plays no matter what, and they were big and strong, and they were tough to tackle. But it still is going to come down to doing our job. If we don't do our job – and the Smiley kid hurt us really bad, I know, 2 years ago. Really bad.
He did,
really bad. I don't know how many yards he had. But so he's definitely capable of hurting us if we don't do what we're supposed to do. We don't want to overestimate or underestimate those guys at all. They're very capable.
Yeah, of course, he wasn't the so-called feature back at that point.
No, he was not.
Yeah, and he kind of came out of nowhere and really hit us pretty hard when we wasn't looking. The receivers, they've got a whole core of receivers. Logan Chambliss, a Fredonia boy down here, Jameis Carnahan, Max Kramer. You got Kenyon Richardson, Skylar Cooper, Isaiah Joyner, Camden Wofford, and, of course, Luke Parker.
Playing some receiver.
Yeah, playing some receiver, and of course we knew his brother. He played down at Western, played over Murray. So they're going to throw it around a little bit.
Yeah, they can throw it around. I think they want to run the ball, but they'll definitely throw it. They're the system offense like we are. It's kind of built on a lot of screens and throwing the short stuff. They like a lot of short stuff, just get quarterbacks confidence, but they'll take the shots downfield. The Max Kramer kid is a kid that's been there in the past. He's probably their number 1 target to me. They like to. It seems like they like him quite a bit, and he seems like he's capable. He caught a deep ball against Hopkinsville last week.
And what a weapon they have in Blake Viverette, the kicker. He's kicked a couple of field goals. He's 4 for 4 on PATs, and he's a guy that's been around a few years. We know him. He don't miss.
Yeah, that's a little different coming in this game versus other high school games. That got us behind last year in a hurry. Their kicking game, they're coming down and getting 3 every time. Where we'll get down the red zone and it's tough. We got to put it in, or we're not going to get 3. And that's a big difference. Of something you got to win the field position. You can't let them get down there because it's going to be 3. It's not like most schools that we play that don't have that type of kicking game. That's a really big advantage. The kicker, can really make a difference in a ball game quickly.
And you mentioned, last week your defense got. It seemed like when our backs were to the wall, we got down the red zone. We stepped it up a notch and forced Madisonville to kick a couple of field goals. So made them settle for a couple of 3-pointers. Yeah,
there were spurts down there when our backs against the wall. And some aspect, I think that we will be kind of bend but don't break at times, especially early on with young guys figuring it out and stuff. And I was proud of those stands. We did a good job on the goal line. I believe coming in the half, or right before the half, holding. It was a big hold. We come to the ball, feel good about it, getting the ball, after the half. So, yeah, we did. We had times we showed, that we were ready to play, and other times we did.
What did you see individually, maybe pick out some guys there when our defense did play good? What were you seeing out of some guys that really turned the tide and made a little difference? Anybody in particular?
I thought when we were getting stops, Coleman Stone was one. He was really getting into the gap. We were going down to almost a 6'2" defense and kind of putting him down the defensive line. And when we did that, we were able to get some stops when he was getting some penetration back there. The linebackers, they made a fair amount of mistakes, and specifically Briley Berry and Zach McGahan. But they played really well at times too. It's just getting consistent. They made a lot of plays when we were playing good and getting stops. They were playing well. Mm-hmm. It's not that they just played horrible. It's not the case. It was just not enough consistency. But those two backers, I mean, I don't know. It was 20 tackles for McGahan, and I don't even know what it was for Briley anymore, 15, 16. But they were doing a good job at times. But it's just more consistency there.
Yeah. Of course, when the other team's running 60 or 70,
there's a lot of
it gives you a lot of opportunity, doesn't
it?
it?
Yeah, that's true.
And what about your inverts? Are they your hybrid guys?
Yeah, just a little experience. In all honesty, we're set up to defend the pass more. We're more built on speed. When people think of Courtney County, they might not think speed, but we got a running back at nose guard. We got little guys all over the field, really. We're really a lot more faster and powerful, and we really worked this week with those guys that they're going to have to be able to, fit the run. And it's my fault, too. I got to have some sub guys and some personnel guys. Luke Mundy will go back to invert a little bit this week, give us some more strength and power back there, and maybe have some heavier sets where we get some more of those D linemen in when teams are just going to the eye and things like that. So they were kind of outmatched. I was felt like I was asking them to do something that's not in their strength last week. They'll be great against the spread. I expect them to have good weeks this week. It's just more of a matchup thing for them. We're built for the spread is what we are. So we just kind of package around. In the past, we've kind of had tweener guys like Hunter Jones and Ben Dobbins. They're kind of bigger, they can play the run too. Now we got Nesbitt and Seth, which are great athletes and can play in space, but when we get them to the run, they're just a little undersized, and that's not their fault. That's my fault for putting them in that position.
I know you took Ben and maybe some other guys that typically just play on the offensive side and really ran them in and played a lot more defense last week, trying to get some bigger little beef inside.
Yeah, we were just kind of rotate our biggest bodies in and just see what would happen. Trying to make as many in-game changes as we could to slow it down. At times it seemed like it worked for a little bit, but just the consistency just wasn't there.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a quick break and recognize some of our partners. Farmers Bank and Trust, been on the same street corner here in Marion since 1899, Deer Lakes Golf Course. And you can go down there and see Rick Hughes. He's a Crittenden County boy. He's the pro there, and even Devin Belt. Yeah. He's working there. He's one of our baseball coaches. So First United Bank and La Delicia Mexican Restaurant. I see they have all their outside seating ready now as cooler weather sets in a little bit. So Coach Courtney, on defense, Caldwell County, they're not going to surprise you. To go through what you expect out of them.
I think their defensive line is really good. All three of them are really good. We'll have our hands full down there. But we feel like our offensive line is our strength too. We really do. So it'll be a good matchup. It's going to be there in the trenches. That's where I expect this game to be won or lost, like most of them. Outside of that, I mean, they're decent everywhere, but their strength is definitely their defensive line.
Elijah Shaheen, he's a good player. Drew Davis, one of the best players around. Angel Long, who's their nose and their center, he's good. Then other guys down there, Connor King and Brady Holman, some of those, they've got some nice sized guys, big and strong fellas, and I'll tell you, Drew Davis plays football like a football player.
Yeah, I think they all, especially the three starters, they play hard all the time. They're a little different. The Davis boy's really big and just clog things up, but still plays with the motor, and then Shaheen, he's fast, he's athletic, he's quick off the ball, his motor never stops. I remember seeing him in middle school play and was impressed with him since then when he was a younger kid. So, and then the nose guard, he honestly is kind of underestimated Massillville a little bit because he was able to have so much success. We thought we would be able to kind of do the same. So that tells me right there that he's a good player as well.
Mm-hmm. And the Stevens boy plays quarterback. He goes over and plays on the defense side. He don't come off the field.
Yeah.
He's got double-digit tackles this year, and they've intercepted 4 passes. Now they've thrown 4. Stevens has thrown 4 on offense, but they've intercepted 4 in the first 3 games. So Luke Crider will have to be on point. Of course, Luke threw the one last week, and it seemed like just from there, of course, he got hit, he got banged up a little bit, helping make that tackle. But, from there, he just didn't have that production he had in the first half.
Yeah, those turnovers just kind of take the air out of you. We had a couple of them, and it's just hard to bounce back from, especially coming out of the half. We're feeling good. We stood strong. We're only down 3, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to score. And then we throw a pick, which, it just I'm not saying it happens. I thought Luke played well before that point.
Yes.
And even after that point, I made a couple good throws that we dropped. I felt like so offense is just putting it together for me, just all of it. We got to be able to establish the run better than we have. We feel like we're really good up front. We're going to have to be able to establish the run to win football games. That's just part of high school football and almost any football at any level. We got to be able to run the football, and we can. There's no reason we cannot run the football. So we got to establish the run. Then we're throwing the ball. We got to protect it and just a little bit of execution things. But overall, the offense, they showed a lot of good things. We just didn't put it all together as well.
Yeah, I think it was a negative yardage on our rush last year. Might have said, I don't know when we've been held to negative yards, and it's been a long time. But you know, not making excuses, but you still have not had the guy that you named the starting running back well in the preseason. He has not been healthy and ready to play yet, really. He's played in one game, and he really wasn't 100%.
Yeah. I mean, he's he's went through some struggles just with illnesses and things. And, we expect to have him back, and hopefully he's ready to go. So, hopefully that makes a difference. But like you said, no excuses. We just got to commit as a team, offensive line, running backs, quarterbacks, receivers, everybody that we can run the football, and we're all just going to block hard. And that's got to be part of our identity to run the football. We're too good up front. We're too veteran up front. Too many guys that have been playing not to be able to run the football.
Well, it certainly starts there, and you've got the guys in the passing and receiving game to really do some damage if you can establish that run.
Exactly. We establish the run, then it opens up all kinds of stuff for them. And instead of just sitting back and just throwing it, every play, it just allows teams to, take things away and stuff like that.
Well, I know you got Holden Cooksey back as well last week.
Yep.
And this may be the first game out of the ones that we played, including the scrimmage, that we've really had everybody on the field.
Yes, I think, almost. Yeah, almost everybody will be back this week. We do have one injury that I forgot about, but but almost. We'll be pretty close to full strength. Close as we've been, for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a moment here and recognize some more of our fine partners. Ellington Detailing, that's Rommel Ellington. He's over on Gum Street. Homestead Auction Realty, Darren Tabor. Seaplant Federal Credit Union on Main Street in Marion, and H&H Home and Hardware. Don't forget they're going to have a fall festival down there in October. So, be a fun time in the parking lot.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Coach Courtney, you talk about fumbles and interceptions and winning that turnover. Yeah. Last week we lost it. First week we won it. We were -1 last week. What's the takeaway from there? Still, we're not turning the ball over a lot.
No, we're not. But we have to create more, and we have to. Now, they're going to happen, but the goal is always 0, but we understand that they're going to happen. I always, as the defense, think we need to get 3 and we'll give the offense 1. You know what I mean? So we want to play aggressive. We want to take shots. We don't want to be all tight. We got to take care of the ball so much that we can't run the offense, But defense has got to create 3. We only created 1. The ball's on the ground a couple times, and we didn't get it. Balls bounced lucky a couple times, just how the football goes. But we got to be more aggressive and just create more turnovers, I think. And then, we're fumbling exchanges and things like that when we're trying to hand the ball off. Those type of turnovers can't happen. Aggressive, we're trying to take a shot. We feel like we have a good matchup. We'll take those turnovers. But just the turnovers that are just all on us, just bad hand, just don't get the handoff or whatever.
Well, you really cleaned the penalties up, that's for sure. You went from 130 to 30, so that's -100. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's one positive to take away from it. There were a few positives, and that's one of them.
Yeah, the guys were still, their tongues are still hanging out, I think. No, you said you didn't run them.
No.
So this week, I know you can't take anything away from Caldwell County. Don't disrespect them at all.
Right.
But we're not going to see those 2 big running backs just boom, boom, boom running at us all the time. Does this matchup suit the Rockets more so than that one against Madisonville? And we know Caldwell County beat Madisonville.
Yeah, Caldwell beat them. Yeah, I mean, I would like to think so, but we'll see. What I think or say, right now doesn't really matter. We'll have to go out there and execute. I still think it's not so much about matchups as it is about us doing our job. It's so hard to tell them, like I was telling them this week, it's just so hard to even get an evaluation when we're not lined up correctly, when we're going to the wrong places. I mean, a lot of times we might as well be playing with 10 guys on defense the way we're lined up. We're just outnumbered everywhere. So to me, it's just about when we get in the right spots and start there, then we can start evaluating to see what's good matchups, who we are, because right now we can't even tell.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to hit a few of our partners here again. Colonel Ag Repair, that's Corey and Derek Colonel. YTG Insurance, Chara on the New York Stock Exchange. Mike and Stoner's Barbershop, I think they're going to be back open. They had a little run of COVID down there. Marion Eye Care Center, Dr. Adria Porter. Full Body Fitness, that's Serena. And Par 4 Plastics, the Magnolia Bank, Derek Myers, the Boom Man, and Mulligan's Pizzeria and Sub. Coach Courtney, this week, who's some guys that we're going to see back on the field? We've talked a little bit about a couple of them. Anybody else going to be back that could be an impact player this week?
Well, we talked about Gatton Travis.
Yeah, obviously an impact player right there.
Yeah, right there.
Both sides of the ball, maybe.
Yes, he could you could see him at linebacker, and we'll definitely see him at running back. Besides that, I mean, just getting those guys more healthy that have been out. Coleman Stone was battling an ankle last week, be back more in full strength. He wasn't able to start because he missed practice, so he'll be in there right away. Besides that, no, not really. I mean, that's the main guy we were missing last week was Gatton Travis. So.
Deacon Holloman's another one.
Yes, that's true. Yep, he missed a lot last week because of certain things. So yep, he'll be back. Been at practice all week. Looked good. Looked pretty good on the film. So yeah. We'll have him as well.
Yeah, and he's a big presence.
Yeah, he helps. Big physical guy, and we're going to need him.
So who, unit-wise, across the board, and I ask you this quite often, who's playing well right now, and who you want to see play better? Obviously, we'll be better against the run, but units, secondary, pick a unit.
That's playing well?
Yeah.
Defensively, no one's playing well.
Yeah.
No one played well defensively. I mean, the secondary wasn't challenged enough to say that they played bad. They didn't play bad. They didn't throw the ball.
Missed a few tackles back there, I think.
In the secondary, yeah, maybe so.
Or in the underneath secondary.
Yeah, there's really linebackers and inverts down there that were dropping. Yeah, so corners and free safety, I guess we'd have to say that they're playing the best right now, and they should be good, but they haven't been challenged much through the air yet this year, so we'll see more. The other group's got to do better and accept the challenge. They're better than they played last week, and they will. They'll be better.
That shallow pass they heard us on 2 or 3 times. It's just wide open. Madisonville did.
No, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
I'm sure we had that corrected.
How many two third and longs that hit us on a shallow route for about 20 yards? I don't. It's just one of those things. Like I said when we were talking about the recap, just cannot believe some of the mistakes that we're making. Just learn ourselves.
Who's going to play well this week and lead us to a win? Who's got to play well this week? Other than just that we know the defense. Individually, who are we looking for to step up? I mean, Dylan Yates is our man. He's a heart and soul.
I was about to say, defensively, Dylan Yates has to be the man.
He's
a number 4 player in Western Kentucky. He is the man. He's got to be the man. We got to see it this week. It's got to pop out the screen that he's the man. He's got to make plays that, maybe that he didn't even make ever, that we've never seen. He's a senior. He's should be and is a really great player, and he's going to show it this week.
You got him on one side. Gobin on the other end has been doing a pretty good job. So those two guys, if they can keep
if there was a group, it would be the defensive line's got to show up this week. Got to show up. Defensive line. Offensively, I go the same route. Luke Crider has got to be the man. Our quarterback, 3-year starter, senior year versus Caldwell. Really got to take control of the offense. We got to be smooth, and I think it's the quarterback, the leader of the defense.
Yeah, you got to keep him healthy. He's got to play 4 quarters.
Yep. Keep him protected. Yep, everything. It's just being inconsistent. Like people being out and stuff. It's not really so much. I'm not saying like Gatton's a great player, Deacon, good player, but it's just the inconsistency of everything. Like this guy's getting a rep this day. This guy, who's going to start? Who's going to play? We're shifting the offensive line. One guy, we don't know if he's going to be able to play till 3:30 on Friday. Literally don't know if we're about to have to change everything. So it's just the inconsistency. And I think we've had consistency this week. Everybody's been at practice. Everybody's got the reps that they should get in the game. So we should start being able to execute a lot better.
And you have to give some kudos to Micah Newcomb because now he came in behind Luke and really led the team downfield and did a great job.
It's not his time quite yet, but Mike is going to be the man when it comes time. You can just tell he's cool Joe out there. He just steps out there and nothing bothers him. Looked the same last week as he did in the JV game on Monday. Just goes out there and just plays ball. Yeah, we're definitely excited about him when his time comes.
So this week, first responder night. You're going to recognize all the first responders.
Yep.
Get your tickets on Ticket Leap. No limit. Let's fill this stadium. Vicky will be having the music rocking, and we'll get that 12th man up in the stadium, and win this game for old time's sake.
It's
been a long time since we've beaten them, and you never did it in your career.
No, that's what I told them.
We beat them the year after you left.
Year after I left.
That was the last time in 09.
Yep, I told them, and Coach Brown hadn't beat them. Coach Barry Austin had beat them, but I told them today after we were breaking the huddle, I get a chance to do something that a lot of us hadn't been able to do, and then just turn this thing. This used to be a rivalry, at least when I was first in school. We had beat them 4 times my freshman year, and it was crazy. Everyone had shirts on, beat Caldwell that week, and they did, and it was always the first game of the year. There's a lot of hype behind it, but right now, I mean, they beat us so many times. There's no rivalry, and this team has a real chance. They have a real chance to get us on the right track. They beat them in middle school. We feel like it's a good matchup. We feel very confident in our kids. If we just go out there and execute it, we'll make a game out of this thing.
So if you're a first responder, police, fire, EMTs, nurse, anything, come on out, get signed up at the main gate. We want to recognize you at halftime. Hey, Caldwell County, anybody, if you're from a surrounding county and you come to the ball game, sign up. Let's put everybody on the field and give them a big salute that they deserve. And let's get Coach Courtney a win. He deserves to be his first one over Caldwell County. We'll see you Friday night, kickoff 7 p.m. at Rocket Stadium.